everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video, and today we are here for the round 3 and round 4 of the online racing league Scirroco Cup, guys. Unfortunately I couldn't run in the first week's worth of racing, guys, so here we are then for week 2 at Watkins Glen. You know, this is a track that probably doesn't favour me very much. Obviously these are slow cars, and unfortunately for me, I do not run manual with clutch on this game, so unfortunately it's going to be one of those races, obviously, where Watkins Glen is completely power-orientated, and unfortunately, I'm probably going to struggle here. So, you know, I think based on the calendar, this should probably be the one track where I struggle the most. But I'm obviously here with 3 of my EVR teammates. All 5 of us from the team are signed up to this league. Unfortunately, EVR Forcella could not make it to this race, but he is actually like my proper teammate for this. We've got EVR Motorsport A, EVR Motorsport B, and EVR Motorsport C. So we've got all our drivers, you know, really trying to push in this league. So obviously I'm hoping I can perform as well as I can. But we're currently on my best qualifying lap here. You know, it was a fairly good lap at the time. Obviously this was actually my PB. I hadn't ran much practice for this race because I've been out at Castle Coombe all day. There will be footage from that coming out probably tomorrow as well, guys, so look forward to that. But this lap, considering obviously with no manual clutch, I think I was one of the, if not the fastest non-manual clutch user for this race, so I guess that's something obviously I can take away from it. But I set a 1 minute 18.4 there, which, you know, I was quite happy with in the end. That actually put me 7th in lobby B, right behind 2 of my EVR teammates there, so very happy. You know, I think all 4 of us unfortunately did only make it into a B lobby there. Hurricane Kieran, as he's otherwise known, missed out on A lobby by 4,000, so he was disappointed with that. But running through the grid now, as you can see, all the other EVR guys are running a wonderful Castrol paint scheme. Apart from myself, unfortunately we couldn't get my paint scheme sorted out for this race, so I'm obviously rocking with the orange, you know, like I usually do. If I can't have a proper one, then it's always going to be orange. But, you know, I'm looking forward to this race here today. You know, it's quite exciting. Obviously the start of a new league, especially going back to online racing. Obviously I went away from this sort of site a little bit, and then I've sort of come back to it. Now I'm really getting back into Forza. You know, for the summer, obviously we've got Forza RC coming up, so obviously a lot more Forza League racing coming on the channel over the next couple of months, guys, until obviously Forza Motorsport 7 here. But running down right at the bottom of this B lobby, you know, all these guys still very quick drivers. You know, we've got PTG Ducky, who is still quite a good driver, and obviously he's down at the bottom of this lobby there, so, you know, it's still going to be very, very tough. See how well we can do in this race. But we're going to go at 2:25, and it's away we go then. And getting off to a fairly mediocre start there. Ben, my teammate EVR Taylor, there, getting off to a very, very good start. Getting all the way into P4 now. But we've already got someone coming down the inside there. That's Prod EKR there. And Kai, sorry, is just going to try and defend him off down towards turn 1. The EVR's onto them. Unfortunately, he's managed to get past me there. We run wide on the XL of turn 1 here. We're going to try and go side by side uphill now on lap 1 here. Obviously it's going to be very, very tightly knit through this first couple of laps here. So, you know, I just don't want to try and make too much contact with other drivers here. You know, I'd much rather try and keep it clean there as EKR manages to get past me. And then we've got another driver there of Prod Forza 4 AMD there, who's going to be able to nip down the inside, as well as GTR Warwick here. He's going to try and line up a move as well, but we do try and get him around the outside into the braking zone there. We run deep into the corner, and unfortunately he's going to be able to try and swing it around my outside there, which turns to the inside for Carousel there. So unfortunately we've managed to drop a handful of positions on this opening lap here. We're going to try and go down the inside of Warwick there. He just tries to shut the door on me there, so I just get caught over the curbs. And you can see straight away, this is a really good comparison of how much manual clutch really helps out. You know, obviously he had a little bit of extra run at the corner there, but he's able to pull out a good sort of 20-30 feet here. So, you know, I'm still fairly happy, obviously, with B lobby in qualifying there. But you can just see coming through these final couple of corners there, we think about going for a move on Warwick. You know, make sure that he knows, you know, obviously we haven't given up on this position yet. But obviously, guys, this race is mainly just about trying to keep clean. Obviously, everyone wants to try and make positions. And obviously, with the slower cars, obviously the field is more tightly packed together. So, you know, hopefully we should be able to stay with these guys ahead of me as long as they start fighting as well. And hopefully, you know, that could work out very well for me in these next couple of laps of this Grand Prix there. As you can see, Warwick runs a little bit wide through turn 2 there. Oh, sorry, through turn 1 on lap 2 here. Now, we can't really line him up for a move as we go up the hill, though. You can just see how much, once again, the manual clutch really helps. You know, he had a worse run up the hill, and he's already starting to pull away. So we've got another Prod guy trying to look around my outside there. I think that's Prod Kobe, who's trying to go around my outside there, down towards the bus stop chicane here. We're going to try and hold it down the inside there, trim the apex of the corner ever so slightly, but he does manage to hold it around my outside, as we're going to look to try and go for a switchback move on him into the next couple of corners here, but he does manage to hold it down the inside. I'm going to try and close the door to PTG Muri, who's now right behind me here. As you can see, Prod goes absolutely so defensive there on the exit at the corner there. I do make a tiny bit of contact with him here. But, you know, Muri now is right on my gearbox as well here. So, you know, hopefully he can't try to make a move on me in these next couple of corners of this race here. You know, Watkins Glen, really a track where you just got to try and get as close to the curbs through this final section. See, the curbs are really very much just like step-ups, and you really want to try and avoid those. You can see Prod Kobe goes a little bit wide there, as he actually hit the curb far worse than I did here. We're going to try and line up a move down the inside here. We've got Muri that's thinking about going for a move as well, so we could be 3 wide down towards turn 1, but Muri thinks better of it. As I try and go down the inside of Kobe there, he turns in on me just a little bit there on the corner there, so, you know, he runs a little bit wide on the exit. I think Sydney turned in on me and got spat out of the corner. I think that's only fair, you know, that I get to keep the position there. And back up now into P10 I go in this round 3 of the Scirroco Cup series. You know, hopefully the guys ahead of me are looking very, very close, so I should be able to try and line up a move on these guys, you know, if it all goes to pot. And you can see these guys are all incredibly close together, and one of the guys, there's a lot of smoke there as he hits the wall, runs incredibly wide there. You can see we're going to be able to get past Lucky Sod and Warwick there. Back up into P8 we go, and now obviously we've only really lost 1 position from our starting position there, so, you know, very, very happy with that. And, you know, just keeping it clean seems to be working out well for me in this first race of the day here. As you can see, there's even more tyre smoke as we skip 1 lap further on to the 5th racing lap of this race here, guys. You can see we're just trying to close in on these guys ahead of me, you know, hoping they all just slow each other down. But coming now down in towards the bus stop here, as you can see, there's another bit of tyre smoke there as someone has hit the wall just ahead of me there, and there is absolutely nowhere I could go there. So disappointing. You know, I was just the next car coming down the track there, and I was on full brakes, and just no way I could avoid either of them there. It was basically just a barricade on the corner there, which unfortunately means, obviously, fortunately for me, there will be a safety car in the race there. You know, I'm going to be starting way at the back. As you can see, I've completely written off the car there. I got the most engine damage from that. You know, the car could barely do 60 miles an hour there. But after coming through the pits once again, and I'm going to be back on the very back of the field here, down in P16 for this restart here. As you can see, moving on to lap 8 of the race here. Obviously, we've only got 5 laps to go. Only a 14-lap race here. One of the shortest races, really, of the calendar. You know, it's such a short time track, but it's quite far distance. And, you know, without the safety cars, you know, the tyres could actually get shredded here. You know, a lot of people were worried that they might actually have to make a pit stop in this race here. You know, still down in P16 here, and unfortunately we couldn't get back past PTG Ducky there off the restart. But, you know, at this stage of the race, I'm not too worried about trying to make up positions here. As, you know, the second race of the evening will be reverse grid here, so obviously every position I don't make up in this stint, you know, I should be able to, obviously, I'd like to think, you know, I've got the pace to be sort of mid to high end tier of this lobby as we go right around the outside of Chuck there, as you can see. But I've got the pace to, you know, really be at the front here. So, you know, hopefully, if I do start right at the very bottom, if I get a clean getaway of the second race there, I could be able to try and walk away with it here. But right back up into P15 now. I can see a bit more tyre smoke coming from a few guys ahead of me there, as we're now on the gearbox of PTG Ducky, coming into the final couple of corners of this lap, and we get absolutely right up to the curb there. Couldn't have taken that corner much better if I tried, obviously, with Ducky on my outside there. But down towards turn 1, obviously, you can just see how much extra boost manual with clutch really does give you, obviously, just able to maintain higher revs there. But we're going to go down the inside into turn 1 there. A little bit of a lunge there, but obviously Ducky saw it coming, so, you know, he moved out of the way ever so slightly, tried to go for a bit of an undercut move there. But we do now move back up into P14 here, as you can see. Now moving on 1 lap later here, as you can see. And there's one car parked on the inside there. I think that's AMS Renter there. Unfortunately, his controller died. So obviously there was no point in him carrying on, as he was going to be right at the very back. And he'd have to start, basically have to fully restart the car over again there. But at the end of that first race though, we did end up coming in down in P13. And not exactly what I wanted, but considering how unlucky we did get, obviously, with that crash. You know, P13, you know, still in B lobby as well. We do take home a fairly decent point score there. I think that's about 25 points, so if I'm not mistaken there. But now moving on to race 2 of the night. We are going to be going at 4:20 here, starting from P4 for the second race at Watkins Glen here. And hopefully, you know, we should be able to get off to a very good start. And away we go there. And PTG Ducky not getting off to a very, very good start there, as well as AMS Renter. And we're going to be able to move straight past Ducky down towards turn 1 here. I think I might go for a move on Renter into the braking zone there, but he does cut in across me there. You know, perfectly in his rights to do so there, as Chuck runs wide through turn 1 there. So Renter's going to be able to move back up into the lead of this race here. And obviously, I really try and need to get past Chuck here as quickly as I can, because Renter, you know, he's still a very quick driver, and he could be able to just pull away in these early stages of this second race, guys. But Chuck actually went a lot quicker than I thought in this second race here. So moving on all the way on to the 5th racing lap here. And, you know, nothing's really happening. We've been able to get a little bit of a gap to now is Tuz Conspiracy right behind me here. So, you know, hopefully he won't be able to line up on a move. He won't be able to line up a move on me in the near future, guys. But down into the bus stop chicane once again here. We actually get a very, very good run there using all the curb on the entrance there. But Chuck runs wide onto the grass there. We're just going to be able to get the car a lot ahead of him there before he skates back onto the track there. So now up into P2 we go in this race here. Now we just got to try and hunt down Renter in these next few laps of this race here, guys. See now, and just obviously with that manual clutch though, he should be able to defend quite well from it here. See now moving on to lap 7 here, and Renter's still quite a way up the road here, but you know, we are actually closing in on him just a little bit at this moment in time here. So hopefully, you know, through these next couple of laps we could close on him just a bit more. That we run wide into the bus stop there, and unfortunately for Conspiracy, he goes straight into the back of it there. I can only apologise for that. For, you know, obviously I did make the mistake. I was running incredibly slowly through the bus stop chicane there, but he did crash into the back of me there, and I'd like to think, you know, I was fairly avoidable there, but I can only apologise to Conspiracy. He unfortunately had to retire from the race after that. But you can now see moving on to lap 9 though, we are closing in on Renter still at this moment in time. They get very, very close to the exit curve through Carousel there. You know, you really want to try and avoid that curve. You either go 2 wheels over, or you try to fully avoid it here. But you can just see the gap to Renter is slowly coming down here as we nail the entrance to that corner there. But unfortunately, running over the curbs, and we've caught the front splitter in the wall there. And that has been an absolutely humongous crash there. And I have no idea, you know, I just cannot get the luck in this race here today. I'm not even too sure what happened there. I think the front splitter dug in ever so slightly into the ground there. So unfortunately for me, we have had to come into the pit lane there and absolutely got punted. Obviously, nothing the other guys could do there. I just had no control over the car as it went into the tyre wall there. And unfortunately there, we saw a lot more cars coming to the back of me there. And unfortunately for them, we all had to pit for damage there. But we are now down to P14 at 15 here. We've only got GTR Aston behind me here. And obviously on this restart once again here. And hopefully, you know, we could line up a couple more positions here. Because obviously no more reverse grids here. I need to try and get as many points as I possibly can. We got Kai, one of my EVR teammates, they're just ahead of me there. And unfortunately for him, he gets off to a very, very good start, trying to look around the outside of Lucky Sod here, down towards turn 1. And we're just going to try and make sure we maximise our run out of the corner there. Kai goes around his outside, that has to take a little bit of evasive action there, but we go right down the inside of Sod there as well there. So we move up into P13 there, EVR making up 2 very easy positions there on that restart there. So very, very happy with that. We've actually got a couple more of our guys a little bit further up the field here, so hopefully, you know, if Kai can try and make a couple more positions here, we should still get a very good point haul from this race here, guys. You can see coming down into the bus stop chicane though, Kai's going to try and go for a bit of a lunge there on another driver there. That's PTG Ducky there, and he's able to go right around the outside of him there. Very, very good move from Kai there. We're just going to try and get right on his gearbox there, try to shut the door from PTG Ducky there, but he does manage to stay ahead of me there as we see Chuck running wide once again there. We just about slot in ahead of him there, so very, very lucky that we were able to do that there. And now we're right on the gearbox of PTG Ducky coming into these final couple of corners here, and hopefully, you know, we should be able to get a very, very good run on him out of the final corner. You can see he gets very, very close to the curve there on the entrance to that corner. I just need to avoid it now on these final couple of laps there, but it's been contact up ahead, and unfortunately once again there's been an absolute pile-up, and I've just been caught out by my teammate EVR Taylor there. So into the pits we unfortunately go once again there. You know, 3 pit stops in 2 races. I think that's got to be some sort of record in this league there, but unfortunately for me, both 2 of my EVR teammates, I think all 4 EVR guys, unfortunately got caught up in that absolute melee there. So not exactly what we wanted for this race here. But now moving on to the final lap of the race. It's going to be a 1-lap sprint after another safety car. As you can see, we've got Prod Kobe right behind me here, as well as my teammate EVR Taylor there. But everyone goes so slowly. We've got Hurricane Kieran just ahead of me here, and hopefully, you know, on this restart we could try and make up a couple more positions on this final lap of this race. So we're going to try and defend from Prod Kobe there down towards turn 1, and also from my teammate EVR Taylor there, obviously Ben, as he's more commonly known there. He goes down the inside of Prod Kobe there, so he makes up another position there. And now obviously we don't obviously want to go for a move on Kieran. Obviously he's been here from the very start, and obviously, although obviously it will be nice to get the extra points, obviously we're not going to try and risk it against my teammates in this race here. We got Taylor though right behind me there, who I think has other plans for this race. I think he was actually the cause of the incident on the end of lap 12 here. He's thought about looking around my outside there, but I get him under braking. Hold on to the position for now there. Unfortunately lose the back end ever so slightly there over the curbs. He's going to try and look around my outside there, but obviously I've got the inside for the carousel here, and I should be able to hold on to the position into these next couple of corners there. But there's still a lot of tyre smoke going on ahead of me here as we run ever so slightly wide through carousel there. I was worried I'd get caught over the curb, so I just completely bailed out there You can see EVR Taylor has been able to make that work for himself. He's going to try and have a look around my outside, down into the second to last corner there. I'm going to run wide and just sort of like, I have to squeeze him out a little bit there. I don't want him to be making a position in the final couple of corners of this race. But unfortunately, into the final corner there, we have actually clipped the curve there. That's going to give Taylor the run down the inside there. We make a little bit of contact down towards the line there. But unfortunately for me, he's able to edge me out there by just 16 thousandths of a second there. Not exactly what I wanted to end the race there. And really, not exactly a particularly brilliant, just, overall night for myself there, guys. P14 and P13 there in the 2 races. Not exactly what I wanted there. But obviously running just with manual there, especially to get into B lobby around a track like Watkins Glen, I think I can still be fairly happy with overall there, guys. But, hopefully next week we should be a little bit more consistent. I'm not 100% sure what the track is next week, guys. But hopefully, you have enjoyed this ORL Scirroco Cup races. And hopefully, if you are new around here, you have subscribed for more of these races. Because obviously, I'm hopefully going to try and cover this whole series, guys. Obviously, now racing for EVR, I'm going to be a lot more consistent than back what I was in the V8 Supercar series, guys. But as I said, hopefully if you are new, you have subscribed for more of my Forza content, guys. Obviously, Forza RC this month as well. And I will hopefully see you guys next time for a brand new video.
So promise that you'll catch me.